let's be honest, admittedly, Monaco Grand Prix are not the most exciting, are they? Let's be 100% truthful. They're not. So, unless something, drastic happens, for the most part, it's not the most exciting of races. So, the start, usually, and then if there's any safety cars or what have you, but let's be honest. No rain. Yeah, there was talk of rain earlier in the week, but there hasn't been any rain. So, really, the excitement of Monaco is qualifying, and then to an extent, the beginning part of the race as well, which tends to be pretty wild, doesn't it? Or can be, anyway. Afternoon, Tom. Afternoon, Affy. Snooker in the Monaco Grand Prix. Well, the Monaco Grand Prix, for the most part, is a bit of a snooze fest. I will 100% agree. It's not the best race, is it? I mean, it's just not suitable. Let's be honest. Juice, how you doing? Good afternoon. Wait, what football's on today? Is it the playoffs? Is that what's on? Is it well, it'll probably be the championship playoffs then, is it? Ah, yeah. Leeds and I don't know who they're playing. Leeds and someone, right? Yeah, apparently. Well, I assume it's at Wembley. Leeds and Southampton. Who are you vying for, Affy? Who's your team? Or are you just watching it? Which is also allowed, unbelievably. Has been a busy few weeks. Well, I mean, they've got to make the money back from that fucking stadium, haven't they? When was that new Wembley built? How many years ago now? It probably won't make its money back for another bloody 20 years. It was a lot, wasn't it? Your Palace. Okay, you're just watching it. Okay. Is it that long ago? I wouldn't have said 20 years. It opened in 2007. No. Bloody hell. I would never have said it was that old. $17 years. Wow, okay. I would never have guessed I would have said like if you would have asked me if that was a quiz question, I would have said like 2013 or 2014 or something like that. I would have never said 2007. Never in a million years. It's crazy. But there you go. The things you know, the things you hear, the things you learn. Alrighty. Now, I didn't catch most of the grid walk. Was there plenty of cringe involved in the grid walk? Martin's grid walk? I didn't see any of it. I caught the last bit of it. But I didn't see I heard that he was talking to Mbappe or something, or he was trying to talk to Mbappe. I saw that on social media, but I didn't actually I didn't see it. Oh, he spoke to Van Dijk as well, because Van Dijk's there with Max Verstappen, isn't he? I'd happily watch the F1 TV feed if I could actually get it. Wilco. Even with a VPN, I can't make it work. Dallo and Anthony were there. Straight off the FA Cup. I saw him talking to Van Dijk and Hakkinen. I saw on social media that he'd been talking to Mbappe or something. Alexandra Daddario. Yeah, I bet you were paying attention to that one, were you, Tilbo? Yeah? Wilco. I like that. That's good banter. It's funny because it's probably true. God, I really don't like Anthony. I just don't like him. I don't like him as a footballer, and I just don't like to look at him. He just looking at him offends me. There's something about his whole demeanor that I just don't like. I just don't like his face. All right. Top three, please. Who is going to win the Monaco Grand Prix? Obviously, from where qualifying is, Charles Leclerc is the obvious option. But Charles Leclerc is cursed around here, so bear that in mind. Top three, please. Right now. I really hope Charles breaks the curse. It would be brilliant to finally see Charles Leclerc win around here, honestly. It'd be great. Wait, who, Affy? Who likes to beat women up? Anthony? I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of that accusation, but I just don't like the look of him anyway. Do you know, like when you look at someone and you look at someone and you make a judgment, which isn't always correct or fair, but you look at him and go, fucking hell, he looks like a twat. Do you know what I mean? He just looks like a twat. I see him on the pitch with his fits and he just comes across as someone that I just isn't likable to me. And I don't think he's particularly good. He has moments where he makes it look like, okay, maybe you were wrong about him. But for the most part, he's just not very good. 78 laps of this riveting street circuit where overtaking is impossible. Impossible. Why do we still race around here? Listen, accidents at turn one are possible. Accidents on the first lap are possible, of course. Cars are just such wide boys, aren't they? Oh yeah, Hulkenberg and Magnussen both disqualified from qualifying because of discrepancy with the rear wing, which means Sergio Perez, guys, is going to start 16th. Sergio Perez manages to gain 2 places on the formation lap, guys. Just a big... Can we just have a big round of applause for Sergio Perez for making such gains before the race has even begun? I mean, who really could make those sorts of gains even before the first lap? That's how good Sergio Perez is. He's already got 2 places. Top tier, top tier. The pass, Ollie Behrman's pass around Kimi Antonelli in the hairpin was brilliant. Also, it's a street circuit. George Russell's up there. He's got a mistake or two in him, hasn't he? Max Verstappen was basically saying, so a reporter said to him, you know, first mistake, would you say, of the year? And he was like, no, Not really. I said I challenge any one of the grid to get in that car and do a faster lap than I did. He was like really sort of antsy with the report. He's like, nah, I challenge anyone in the grid to get in the car and do a faster lap than what I did in that car. The cars just doesn't ride the bumps very well, so they might struggle a little bit in Canada as well, which is the next race. Yeah, the Lewis comments were really, really strange, basically saying as soon as he gets into qualifying, he's already lost 2/10. Some people thought it was like a conspiracy theory, but I didn't read it that way. I felt as though he was basically just saying he's losing in Q3, he's losing in qualifying, and he doesn't quite know why. Whereas some people saw it as like a fucking sabotage, but they're idiots. Like, there's no sabotage going on. He just doesn't have the speed in qualifying, and I believe that's what he was referring to. Sergio Perez blamed everything, by the way. He blamed the advertising hoardings, the plastic on the advertising hoard. He blamed that. He blamed traffic. He blamed everything. The only thing he didn't blame was himself. And we know that car's tricky because Max only qualified P6. That means the car's tricky around here. But Perez was down in 18th, so, like, come on, it's not all the car. No, I don't think it's anything to do with that, Dan. There's no conspiracy or better engine mode or anything like that. Admittedly, George does have a new front wing this weekend and Lewis doesn't, but that's not the difference. I think he was just referring to how he struggled in qualifying, and people have just read into it the wrong way. I think that's all it was. It's because he basically said he doesn't expect to outqualify George this season. And it was a weird thing to say. So, Charles Leclerc, Piastri, Sainz, Norris all starting on the mediums, but Russell, Verstappen, and Hamilton are all on the hards. And then the cars behind them, so Tsunoda, Albon, Gasly, are on the mediums. Then Ocon hard, Ricciardo medium, Stroll, Alonso, Sargent, Perez, Bottas hard, and then Hulkenberg and Joe Guan Yu are on mediums and Magnussen on hard. So you've got the first 4 cars on medium, but then the next 3 on hard. So, obviously this is going to make a big difference at the start as well. You've got Verstappen, Hamilton, and bloody what's his face, George Russell on the hards. No pun intended, but it's going to be a harder start for them. I don't think an early safety car would really affect them that much, Dan, because it's going to have to be a 2-stop anyway. So even the people, if they stopped straight away, went from medium to hard, they'd still have to stop twice. Do you like the McLaren livery, Wilco? I do like it out on track, actually. I do like it out on track. I was saying this as well. Oscar Piastri's basically got the Senna colours and his and the Australian colours all in one. Yeah, it is nice to have a bit of colour. It's nice. As always, I'll tell you when the lights are going out so that you can pause the stream and what have you if you're watching on YouTube's. Right. I'm actually a little bit cold. Mick Schumacher's always there, just as a accompanying Toto Wolff now, isn't he? Obviously, he's he's a reserve driver, but he's always just there in the garage watching. All right, here we go, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go. Oh, a terrible start for Piastri. Hamilton got a good start, but he had nowhere to go. Oh, puncture for someone. Is that Sainz with a puncture? He's holding people up. Oh, he's off. Sainz is off. He's made contact with someone. That's probably a safety car. That's probably a safety car. He's under a lot of pressure, Charles Leclerc from Piastri. Red flag, red flag. Max to 3? What do you mean max to 3? Oh my God! There's a huge accident that we didn't see. Oh my Lord, that's Perez. We didn't see that. Oh my God! There is debris everywhere. That is massive. That is a massive accident. Both Haas cars are out. Oh no. That's going to take ages to clear up. Jesus Christ, guys. I just wanted to watch the Formula One and go have a chicken dinner. It's going to be an hour to clear this up. There's debris all down the track. Oh my Lord. Yeah, there's nothing left of that Red Bull at all. Oy, oy, oy. That is crazy. That's crazy. No, we absolutely passed the timing sector before the red flag, because the first timing sector is at the bottom of the chicane. We definitely passed one. If we didn't, Carlos Sainz can go back to where he was, but I'm pretty sure we passed it. I'm going to rewind, hold on. The first timing was at the bottom of the chicane. I haven't even watched the accident yet. I'm going to watch it in a second. Oh, no, actually, all the cars have got to pass the first timing beam. I actually think Carlos Sainz is going to get away with it. Just watch this accident. Oh, my God. Oh, he's taken out a Haas. Oh, no. I need to... Oh, my Lord. I need to see it from Perez's perspective. Jesus. I actually think Sainz has got away with this and he's going to be able to retake his position. Because I'm pretty sure all of the cars have to pass the first timing sector. And Charles Leclerc and Piastri passed it, but the rest of the grid didn't. Yeah, I mean, Haas can just pack their garage up and go home, yeah. Max Verstappen had a terrible start, by the way. And the only thing that saved him was George Russell was up the inside. And that stopped Lewis Hamilton from braking late. And so Max was able to brake late around the outside. So there's contact going up the hill between Carlos Sainz and Piastri. Yeah, Sainz was too far to the left. Piastri was just against the wall. Sainz has clipped his tyre and got a puncture. Yeah. I'm just rewinding a little bit, guys. So oh my God. Oh my God, K-Mag, no. K-Mag, no. Oh, K-Mag, no. K-Mag's getting a ban. K-Mag's getting a ban. He's only a few points away from getting a ban. That's a race ban, 100%. There is no way they don't give him a 3 points on his license for that and a race ban. He's definitely banned. That is rough. He's gone so tight up against that wall on the right-hand side, and there's no way he's getting through there. Would you argue that Perez should have given him room? Would you say that? Would you say that Checo hasn't given him enough room, knowing he's there? I don't know. Would you say, though, that Checo has to give him more room? I don't know. Hulk was on his left, yeah, but Hulk wasn't alongside him. Hulk wasn't alongside him, though. Hulk was behind him. K-Mag is basically just along the rear axle of Perez, but Hulk is to his left. And he's got a better run. So... I think it's optimistic from K-Mag. And I'm not sure Perez... I don't think Perez is expecting him to come up there. Yeah, Perez was in the middle. There was room, and then there wasn't room. Looking at it back, I need to see it from his perspective, really. He did brush the wall before the contact, yeah. So he definitely should have bailed. Yeah. So I'm just watching it from Perez's perspective again. I'm rewinding a little bit, so it might be a little bit out of sync with you guys, because... I mean, Perez is absolutely fucking clueless. He doesn't even look in his mirror. And that's not a criticism. I'm saying Perez had no idea, I don't think, that K-Mag was there. He looks in his mirror early on. Oh, then he does just look in his mirror, actually. I stand corrected. Oh, that's a big accident, isn't it? And as mine said, one wheel did break its tether. I'm watching it from Nico Hulkenberg's perspective now. I personally think that K-Mag shouldn't have been trying to overtake there. I don't know what you guys make of it. I'm just watching it again from K-Mag's perspective. The track is... I'm watching it again from K-Mag's perspective. You could see the track narrowing, and he nudges the wall. He should have backed out of it. I think he had to back out. His front axle is alongside Perez's rear axle, but I think he has to back out of it. The track's narrowing. I think he has to back out of it. I will say this, though. Perez is in the middle of the track. He's neither on the left nor the right. So there was a gap originally, but that gap was closing. That gap was closing, wasn't it? And I think I think ultimately K-Mag had to see that that gap was closing and back out of it. I think it was stupid to keep your wheel in there. There's a moment there where we're all watching it where you're thinking, back out, back out, back out, and he doesn't back out. I think he expects Perez to move left, but Perez isn't. Oh, that is a ruined Red Bull. Holy shit. Holy shit. I haven't even watched the Alpines yet, guys. I've been rewinding that. Let's have a look at the Alpines now. Oh my god, what's going on with them? Ocon is such an idiot. Ocon, I don't even know whose fault it is, but Ocon's an idiot, regardless. Oh, that... Oh, fucking hell. Why has he lunged Gasly? Why has he lunged on his teammate? First fucking lap, man. Like, come on. Like, that's just such a stupid thing to do. He's such an idiot. Like, Ocon's a fucking moron. He really is. He's just a moron, isn't he? He really is. I mean, it's have to see how much damage has actually been done to those cars or not. I wonder if anyone will change tyres. Alonso's absolutely melting already. And they were only a car short time. It just goes to show you how hot it is inside those cars. Yeah, that was an absurd... Now, I will say this, and I'm going to say this now, right? There is, even with all the cleanup job, there is still a chance they might miss some debris. We could see a situation in this race where someone has a puncture. Definitely, we could see a situation in this race where someone has a puncture. With all the will in the world, they'll clean up all that debris. But as the race goes on and cars fly through, it'll move, you know, the dirt and debris that's gone under the Armco barriers and what have you. And there is a chance we could see some punctures. There was so much debris. There's no way they're getting rid of all of it. So, yeah. I just wonder if anyone will change tyres. The guys on the hards aren't going to change tyres, are they? But everyone that starts... There's a very good chance that anyone that starts on the hard tyre, on the medium, will go to the hards now. It'll be a standing start, Juice, yeah. It's fucking snowing. Not in Monaco, here. Is that snow or is that just very light rain? It looks like snow, but maybe it's just hail. Maybe it's just hail. I don't know. It might be hail. Absolutely chucking it down. I mean, it's going to take a while to clear all this mess up, right? Hmm. We said that there could be incidents on the first lap. I wasn't expecting something quite so dramatic, but... Well, the barriers are solid barriers around here, so honestly, they won't really be damaged, to be honest. They won't have been moved or anything. It's just clearing all that fucking debris out, like... Oh, Sergio. He didn't need that, did he? Do you think Sergio takes any blame, though, for where he positioned his car? Because he kind of did invite a bit of an attack from Magnussen. He wasn't over to the right, but he wasn't... I don't know. He kind of left a bit of a gap there. But that gap was closing, and K-Mag absolutely should have backed out of it. It's his fault. He definitely had a slow start. I mean, Perez can just go to his yacht, can he? I mean, look, if we're being honest, Perez can just go back to his yacht and, you know, shag another woman that isn't his wife, can't he? Allegedly. 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 You know. Well, the Indy 500 doesn't start till like 5:45 UK time, so I think we'll be okay. Des, there's only it's like a 4-hour period where they have to finish the race, so you'll be okay. When was that? When he was seen partying with that woman? Do you remember, Paris? I can't remember what race weekend it was. Daniel Ricciardo having a little chat to Liam Lawson, the lad that's likely going to take his seat, let's be honest. Cavorting with the enemy. Was it Monaco? Was it Monaco? I think it was, wasn't it? What is this sign? Shall I hope you crash so he doesn't marry my sister? Shall I promise to propose to my girlfriend if you win today? No incident allowed. So there's a guy with a Ferrari sign saying, Shall I promise to propose to my girlfriend if you win today? And then someone with a Mercedes sign say, Shall I hope you crash so he doesn't marry my sister? Oh, God. So. Yeah, so Sainz is going to be third. So they didn't pass all of the cars didn't pass the timing. Sainz is one lucky son of a bitch because he had a bad start, which is what led to that incident. And it was kind of his own fault, really, because Piastri couldn't have been any further to the left. So Sainz has got very lucky. Very lucky there. It wasn't Piastri, sorry. It was Norris. I said Piastri. I meant Norris. Yeah, Kevin Kevin Magnussen happened. I genuinely think, guys, we could be seeing the first driver to get a ban. I genuinely think we could, because K-Mag. I mean, it depends how the stewards see it, really, doesn't it? It depends how the stewards see it. Yeah, no further investigation for lap 1 incidents. No, that's got to be Sainz. That's got to be Sainz. That's got to be Sainz. That can't be the K-Mag incident. No, that can't be the K-Mag incident. There's no way they would have ruled that out so quickly. Yeah, that's Sainz. That's not the Perez incident. Yeah, that's the turn 1 incident for sure. Yeah. Kevin Magnussen is... He's inevitable, isn't he? Here's the problem, right? Here's the problem, and they're about to talk about it now, but I'm going to pause the feed for a second. The reason Kevin Magnussen didn't want to bail out of that move on Perez is because if he gets out of it, if he gets out the throttle, Hulkenberg will get past up the hill. He'll have a better drive, and Hulkenberg's already on the inside. So from K-Mag's perspective, if he bails on that route on the right side of Perez, he loses position to Hulkenberg, which he doesn't want to do, which is, I think, is why he kept his foot in it. Yeah, I mean, K-Mag isn't getting through there, is he? K-Mag's watching this at home on the sofa, just going, fucking bunch of wankers. He's probably loving that he's not involved. Yeah. Yeah, Perez looks, but I think Perez thinks there's no way he's going to send it up there. And he did. Yeah, that's painful for Hulkenberg. The problem is, it is a first lap racing incident, but at the same time, Magnussen's caused such a big accident there. I think he had to back out. I just think he had to back out. He had to. Apparently, Lewis said on the radio as well, I told you guys, which would lead me to believe he wanted to start on the mediums, anticipating there would be a safety car or something, red flag, whatever, and that he could switch to the hards and save a stop. And I'm guessing they've overruled him, and now there has been one, and now all the medium runners can switch to hards if they want to now. But the hard guys are ruined. There's fuck all they can do. There might be a small amount of damage to Piastri's floor, you know, because Sainz's front wheel did go pretty much over the floor. Well, Sainz has to change tires, so he's got to go hards. But it's of no downside to him because, you know. It's possible that the guys on the hard tires have been ruined a little bit. There is definitely some carbon fiber that's come off, by the way. So I do think Piastri might have lost a little bit on his floor. I don't think Piastri did anything wrong. Where do you want him to go? He's against the fucking wall. Like, where's he meant to go? Not really sure what he's meant to do. They have replaced some of those barriers, by the way. 13 minutes time. So we've extended the Monaco Grand Prix by 45 minutes. Excellent. I don't think they've even investigated the Gasly Ocon incident, have they? I'm gonna have to see because both the Alpines, well, at least one of them was up on the. Hmm. I'm gonna have to just see with the Alpines as to whether they're both fine, because Ocon took a pretty big hit, didn't he? It was a pretty substantial hit. What's this about? I don't understand. Checking his WhatsApp. Yeah, they love zooming in on partners. Back in 1 minute. Oh, there you go. Ocon Gasly's under investigation. Oh, right. You don't like the McLaren livery? I'm fully expecting everyone who started on mediums to go hards and get a free pit stop. I'm fully expecting that to happen, and the people who are on hards, well, they either go medium or they just stay on hards. Probably just stay on hards. They're gonna have to stop regardless. So. All the hard guys can do is just stay on the hards and hope that the other cars around have to stop as well. That's all they can do. I did hear that K-Mag was saying that essentially Perez should have left him room, but K-Mag, listen, K-Mag had to get out of it. He had to. And, you know, he didn't. Yeah, you've got to just stay on hards. If you stayed on hards, you've got to just stay on the hards and hope that there's another safety car or something later in the race. That's all you can do. So that's, you know, that for the front runners, that's Max and the two Mercedes. I'm surprised they put Max on the hards, actually, considering they would have anticipated an early safety car red flag, surely. But there you go. It's been 40 minutes since the start of the race. Why? How long does it take him to look at Ocon and Gasly and go, yeah, cunt? Like, how long does it... Honestly, how long does it take him? Like, what have you been doing for 40 minutes? I'll just check how much damage it is, CB. Yeah. 100,000 sandwiches, Christian Horner's saying. To repair Checo's car. Yeah. Ham? Coronation chicken? Oh, okay. Each to their own. Wow. There you go. Yeah. Is that even repairable? Well, yeah, it's repairable. Not for this race, it's not repairable, but for next race, sure, yeah. They'll already be building a new car now at the garage. Christian Horner would have been onto the factory. Yeah, lads, start building. Gasly Ocon, it's impossible to know. It's hard to know how much damage there was. They had it up on the jacks looking at it, so I honestly don't know. Well, this is also something to bear in mind, Juice, and I'm not 100% sure. If they've basically nullified the race, then they might still be required to make a stop. So I'm not sure. Now, there's no sense in changing, Afro. If you change from hards now to medium, at some point you need to go back and do a pit stop. All right? So you need to stop anyway. So you may as well start on the hards and go long. Because regardless, you have to pit. There's no sense, actually, in changing from the hards to the mediums now. You've got to just go on the hards and hope that there's another red flag safety car at some point. It's very diplomatic. Very diplomatic. Oh, Ocon isn't coming back into the race. Ocon, yeah, Ocon's in his jeans. He's not carrying on. There you go. Well, he fucking deserves it, doesn't he? Fucking hell, Jack Doohan's got some hair on him, hasn't he? Look at that hair. I'm just trying to see. Is that medium still for the Ferrari, I think? Is it? It looked like the medium still. But it looked like... Sainz has to change, so it's the hards for him. Yeah, there you go. Carlos Sainz is on hards. Lando's on hards. Wait, George Russell's gone mediums, has he? Yeah, George Russell has gone mediums. That doesn't make sense to me. If that's the case, that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, they've swapped. It doesn't make sense because you've got to stop again anyway. They're not going to make it to the end. You may as well put the hards on. Basically, all these other guys are going to go on the hards now until the end of the race. They're going to do the whole race on that one set of tyres. But the medium runners are never getting those mediums all the way to the end, so they're going to have to stop again. But their hope is that they'll be able to make up the pace because the people on the hard tyres will be so much slower at the end of the race. That's all they can do. Yeah, but you don't want that. You want to go hards now, and then if there's a red flag safety car, switch back to the faster medium tyre. I don't think what they've done there makes a massive amount of sense, personally. The only way making change makes sense is if you think you're going to try and go to the end of the race. But the mediums aren't going to go to the end of the race. The hards, maybe. I mean, yeah, but you're going to be ruined compared to the guys on the hards. Right. Well, we're going again, guys. 45 minutes. 45 minutes after we started. Well, it's a really long time to grid up. No, it wasn't a far off. Right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. That was quick. 4, 5. I was getting the numbers wrong. Good start for Charles. Good start for Norris again, I think. Okay, everyone's clean so far. Carlos Sainz has made it. The race is officially underway. All right, there you go. We've actually got racing. George Russell all over the back of Lando Norris as well. There you go. Charles Leclerc's got up, he had a nice clean first lap, although Oscar was, there or thereabouts with him. Lewis has dropped off Max Verstappen already, though, by quite a way. So where is Gasly? Gasly is in 10th at the minute. This is, I think, a large part of this race. We know that this is nothing to do with overtaking here. A large part of this race is going to be tyre management and who can manage their tyres the best, especially if all of these guys are trying to go to the end of the race. It's going to be a train, isn't it? It's pretty much going to be a train for most of the race. Well, okay, when I say most of the race, what I mean is all of the race. Yeah. It was a good start from everyone. Clean at the front. Good start for Charles Leclerc. They were already on hards, Juice. That's why. They swapped to the mediums. They started on the hards. So their option was to stay on the hards or go to the medium. And they chose to go to the medium, which it did surprise me a little bit. If you end up in the wrong place at the first corner, you can just be ruined because you're just in this concertina effect and you just got nowhere to go. Basically, the top 3, 4 are all over each other. So they're telling George you don't need to stay this close to George. Manage your tires, which would explain, I think, why Hamilton dropped back. Perhaps he was just managing tires very early on. I think. Yeah, Max has done the same. Max has dropped back from Russell, not because I think he's slower, but I think he's just managing the tires. So I think that's why they've both dropped back by quite a bit. I mean, these 4 at the front here, though, Charles Leclerc, Piastri, Sainz, Norris, are really all over each other. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, we definitely saw some carbon, didn't we? Yeah, see, I agree with what George is saying. If they go too slow on these mediums, they're just going to be a pit stop behind anyway. So, penalty for Ocon, but he's not in the race. Yeah, Red Bull. Do you know what Hamilton said as well on the radio? He said, "I told you so." So it sounds like he wanted to start on the mediums, expecting there to be a red flag or a safety car, and they've overruled it, or something like that. Sainz is right up the chuffage of Piastri. Right up the chuffage. I feel like, I don't know, if I was on the mediums, I feel like I would just absolutely fucking gun it and pit again. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it is lose-lose. Like, because even if they pit, they'll be behind cars. So it's literally lose-lose. Starting on the hard tires just wasn't the play, was it? Both Mercedes cars did it. Verstappen did it, and it's been a little bit ruinous for them all, I think. Or if the race carries on like this, it will be ruinous, we should say. And if there's a safety car red flag at the end of the race, or, you know, safety car, the guys at the front can put the mediums on then, and the guys on these mediums now will have to go back to the hards. So it'll then be ruinous as well. Hmm. So Ocon will get a grid penalty at the next race because he can't serve his 10-second penalty. I mean, he deserves it for sending it on his teammate there, doesn't he? I mean, it was just stupid. Yeah, like Lambiasi is just telling Max, you know, yeah, I don't know why Russell's going so slow. He's just giving them a free pit stop. And it is true. Hmm. Yeah, Max is being fucked by the fact that he's behind Russell. So, Because I think Max would be a little bit faster than this if he wasn't behind Russell. It's just shit, innit, when you just got teams that basically just are going 3 seconds slower than what they're capable of because there's no benefit to going faster. And that's all to do with Formula One and their fucking tire system. Which is just shit, really. Yeah, I could be 3 seconds quicker if I wanted to be, you know. But yeah, because if the medium guys have to pit, Tsunoda, Albon, and all those will be right behind them because they're right behind them at the minute. Yeah, they probably should have different tires for Monaco. I kind of like that idea, to be honest. Specific Monaco tires. What if at Monaco they can only use soft tires as well? Like they can only use softs and they have to pit twice or something. I don't know. Well, we're already on the softest tires in terms of the softs that are available this week are now the softest tires. So say to them, you have to run only softs in the race and you have to stop a minimum of twice. Done. I'm not saying that's the solution, but it would certainly make them go faster, wouldn't it? Yuki is a feisty little man. Hmm. Afternoon, Zoo. Full them on. Yeah, you got to run to the car at the start, strap yourself in. What if we make it so that the drivers have to get out of the car and change the tires themselves? Yuki Tsunoda's now 2.5 seconds behind Hamilton out of nowhere. Don't know what's happened there because Hamilton's dropped back from Verstappen. But for some reason, Tsunoda's now not within DRS. Don't know if he made a little mistake. Oscar Piastri is now right behind Charles Leclerc with Carlos Sainz out of DRS behind them. But Russell's now 8 seconds behind these guys. Like they say, this pace isn't good enough from Russell. I know he's saving his tyres, but he's just going to let the guys ahead get a pit stop. It doesn't make any sense. I really don't understand what Mercedes are doing. I really don't. Hmm. Yeah, their strategy hasn't been the best, has it? You're right. I wonder if... Oh, Bottas is pitting. Put the hards on. So that no further action, apparently, I'm being told now, was for the Kevin Magnussen incident. There's no further investigation for it. So he's away with it. He's got away with it. That can't be right. That can't be right. That's insane if that's true. That's actually insane if he's just got away with that. Yeah, I don't know why I said I'm being told now. Like, I'm getting the information. I've just got a producer in my ear. When I said I was being told, I meant I was listening to it. I don't know why I said that. Made myself sound a little bit more important then, didn't I? I'm actually being told right now. Yeah, that was complete bullshit, guys. I was just listening to the fucking TV feed because I'm a pathetic liar. Have I been out in the sun? I haven't. No, there's no bloody sun here. I do catch the sun very easily, but there hasn't been any bloody sun. It's been raining. Yeah, it's been raining now for a while. It looked like hailstones, though, so I don't know. It's listen, even though we know Monaco isn't good, how interesting or different and nice is it to see Ferrari, McLaren at the front of the field? I mean, that's cool, isn't it? It's nice. I don't know. I'm torn because I'd love to see Norris or Piastri win, but at the same time, I'd really like to see Charles Leclerc win Monaco because I feel like over the years he's been so unlucky here. I'd love to see Charles Leclerc win Monaco. I'd love to see Oscar win as well. So, Canada. Also a pretty bumpy circuit, though, Canada. So, you know, Red Bull haven't been great over the bumps and the curbs. So, don't know how well they'll do that. I'm expecting them to be back in form, though. Yeah, it's very close at the front there. It's curious that Bottas pitted from the mediums to the hards so early, but he did. Oh God! Fuck that camera angle! I thought Piastri was sending it into the. God, I got scared. The camera angle deceived me. Oh, wow. Logan Sargent does have to stop because he's the only car that didn't change compounds at the... Oh, okay. Ah, yeah, let's... Yeah, it is Carlos Sainz's partner. Let's zoom in on all the partners. Completely unnecessary, but let's do it anyway. Hello. Like, fuck off. We don't need... It's not that we don't need to. Leave them alone. Watch the race. We don't need to zoom in on them. Just let them watch the race. Enjoy it in fucking peace. Jesus. It's so weird. It's so weird that they feel the need to sort of zoom in and see what they're... Oh, what are you thinking? Hate it. Whoa, how dare you, Current? I want to see Max pushing Russell, because that's the only exciting battle I could potentially see on track right now. Piastri's dropped a little bit back off Charles Leclerc, and they're all really managing tyres, so... I just don't really understand the Mercedes strategy, you know, because yeah, I just don't get it. Going so ultra slow on these medium tires, and they're going so slow that the people ahead of them on the hards could also stop again and still be ahead of them. I don't understand the logic. Because to me, and this is why I'm not an engineer, because I'm not smart enough, you may as well just go hammer and tong on the mediums and stop. Yeah, it's just when you hear people saying, yeah, we're driving 3 or 4 seconds slower than we could. Yeah, that's racing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And tyre management is a thing, and fuel management in all series. You know, endurance racing, IndyCar, trying to save a bit of fuel and stuff. It's pretty standard, but it's just frustrating that we're not getting flat out racing. Yeah, this is to the extreme. Russell's 12 seconds behind Norris now. If he carries on at this pace, even if they try and make those mediums go to the end of the race, there'll be a pit stop behind and everyone ahead can stop. And if they decide, okay, then we'll stop, there'll be a 12-second gap that they'll have to make up. So it just doesn't... It doesn't make any sense to me at all. It really, really doesn't make any sense. Hmm. That's what I mean. At this point, Charles Leclerc could pit and come out ahead of Russell. Like, so what have you achieved by going so slow on the mediums? You may as well just, rather than giving up a 20-second gap, you may as well just gun it, then pit, and yes, you'll be then 20 seconds behind, but you'll be on fresh tyres. It seems more logical to me that to give up the time via pitting than going slow and staying on the same tyres. Does that make sense? At least to me, that makes more sense. Well, no, you're not overtaking anyone because, because it's impossible, isn't it? You need a massive tyre delta to get past anyone, really, around here. So, yeah, you're right. Basically, they would be behind too many cars, so... If I was Max, I'd stop again. George Russell will bin it 5 laps from the end anyway, Max. You'll get past him. It's a street circuit. It's what George Russell does. Plan B +2. So Alonso's going to stop. He's mediums. Yeah, Bernie's really good. She doesn't do all the races though, as I understand it. Just listening to Ocon give his reasoning for being an absolute menace. Yeah, he was pretty sheepish. Could you have done something differently? I haven't looked at it, I haven't looked at it, but yeah. Fernando Alonso is running 6 seconds behind his teammate. Do you know what? You were asking if I was sunburnt. Actually, I'm not. But I tell you what, I am absolutely boiling out of nowhere. Like I'm fucking overheating. I don't know why. I was freezing earlier. It could be menopause, yeah. I'm getting to that age, aren't I? But yeah, Fernando Alonso is running almost 6 seconds behind his teammate Lance Stroll. When do we see that? What's going on with Fernando Alonso the last couple of races? It's all over the shop. Well, maybe he is, but they said on the radio plan B +2, which would suggest to me that they're planning to stop. Otherwise, you wouldn't need a +2. So if they were planning to stop, well, maybe. We'll see. So Piastri's now a second and a half behind Charles Leclerc, and they've been pretty much sitting at that for a while now. Sainz has dropped 3 seconds behind Piastri, and Norris is now running right behind him. I mean, it wouldn't depress me how quickly I could eat Doritos, Ginger. It would actually it would impress me. Oh, excuse me. Norris could pit, you know. If he can get a gap to Russell, yeah, he could pit, and he wouldn't lose anything. We could see Norris pitting and putting fresh tyres on if he stays in 4th place. No, if you get a packet of Doritos or crisps or whatever and you eat some and then save the rest, and you're able to do that, you're a sicko. Yeah, share bags. Share bags. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't think so. Sometimes when I look at stuff like that, it serves 3 to 4 people, and I'm like, what? No. It'll be a struggle to serve 2. There you go. Sainz's front tires are graining. Do you know the other thing is, with all of these cars trying to get it to the end on one set of tyres, it kind of opens the door for more mistakes towards the end of the race, doesn't it? Really? Well, yeah, Carlos Sainz just went 3 seconds quicker. What the hell? It's 3.3 seconds behind Piastri, and then he got to within DRS. Ooh, Norris. Just tickling the wall. Listen. George Russell loves a bit of contact with the wall on the street circuit. He bloody loves it. Canada, Singapore, bloody loves it. It's just a snooze fest at the minute, isn't it? I mean, we know Monaco isn't an exciting race. I keep saying this. We know that. I get bored of saying how unfit for purpose Monaco is for these modern Formula One cars. But at the same time, they're going 3 or 4 seconds slower than they could be. Also, this is a huge thing. There's an 18-second gap now from Lewis Hamilton to Yuki Tsunoda. Now, Lewis Verstappen, Russell are on the mediums. Yuki's on the hards. There's enough of a gap there now where those 3 medium runners could stop again and not really lose position. I'd have to double check what the tyre delta is around here. It'll be 20-something seconds. Imagine docking your yacht at Monaco, paying the exorbitant fee to dock it during the F1 race week, and not even giving a shit about Formula One. Yeah, so you've got Charles Leclerc and Piastri coming up behind Alonso, Ricciardo, Sargent, Zhou Guanyu, and Bottas. It's going to be a little while yet, though, because those 5 have just gone through the chicane at the end of the tunnel, whereas Charles Leclerc is just about to enter the tunnel now. There's a very good chance that Red Bull there's almost a 21-second gap now between Hamilton and Tsunoda. Verstappen is 3 seconds ahead of Hamilton. I'm pretty sure Verstappen could stop now and come out ahead of Tsunoda. He would be behind Hamilton, but he'd be on fresher tyres. He'd probably breeze past him. So, I'll be honest, if I was Mercedes, I'd be telling Hamilton to put his fucking foot down, we're going to stop. That's what I'd be saying, but, what the fuck do I know? I'll tell you what I know. Nothing. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about anything. Just tell Hamilton now, put your foot down, use those mediums, we're going to build a gap to Tsunoda, and we're going to stop. And we're going to put a set of hards on. Done. Like, there is nothing. Like, he's 23 seconds ahead of Tsunoda. Just pit him. And if the other guys ahead struggle, it's good for him, isn't it? And if they don't, he hasn't lost a position. Like, it's surely a GG. Thank you, Joe. It's surely an obvious decision. To me. Could be waiting to go soft. I think they're logically trying to get the gap to Tsunoda. I think that's what they're trying to do. And I'm not entirely sure what the pit lane delta is. I didn't look it up. Could be like 25, 26 seconds. Maybe they're just trying to get that delta. Verstappen's pushing ahead now, though. He's only 1.2 behind George Russell. So... I'm not sure how long the softs would last around here either, if I'm being truthful with you, because... Look at this gap here. Well, you can't see it on the track map, but there is a huge gap between Sonoda now that cars could filter into. Well, you're assuming he has a fresh set of mediums, Afro. If he's got a fresh set of mediums, then great. But we know he's got a new set of hards. I'm not actually sure he does have a fresh set of mediums. I'd have to double check. But if he's got a fresh set, we know he's got a fresh set of hards that he took off that did literally, 3/4 of a lap, which is why I say hards. But yeah, if he's got another set of mediums, he can dosh those on. Absolutely. But listen, if Hamilton has a pit window and he pits and puts fresh set of tyres on, and the same for Norris, if the other guys then think, fucking hell, these tyres aren't getting to the end, he would have already undercut them. He would have already done the undercut, and it would be too late at that point. "20-second gap you need." I mean, Norris would need a 20-second gap. God, this is... Alonso is really holding the last fucking 5 cars up. Well, 4 cars. It's Alonso, then Ricciardo, Sargent, Zhou Guanyu, and Bottas all in a DRS train. Alonso's now 10 seconds behind Lance Stroll. Hmm. Five-place grid penalty for Ocon next race. Yeah, because Hamilton is now 21.3 seconds ahead of Tsunoda. I think that's enough. Yeah, they're trying to tell Charles Leclerc to slow down so that there isn't enough of a gap from Norris to Russell. I would, like, unless someone can tell me something that I'm not seeing, I would pit Lewis Hamilton. I would have pit him already and put him on a set of hards. He doesn't have a set of mediums, apparently. He's got enough of a gap to get out ahead of Tsunoda. I would have done it already. I would have done it. There's literally no downside to it whatsoever. He keeps the same position, but he's got fresh tyres if the cars ahead of him decide to pit. I don't know. It just seems perfectly logical to me. Verstappen and Russell don't have that luxury because they've got track position. I mean, it's such a joke, isn't it? Yeah, can you slow down? You're going too fast. Sorry, you're going too quick. What are you doing? Slow down. What is this? A race? Bottas fastest lap. Oh yeah. Okay, now the back markers are going to start to play into this because Charles Leclerc is now heading into the tunnel, and Alonso, Zhou Guanyu, Bottas, Ricciardo, and Sargent. Yeah. Because again, this can't be a tactical decision from Alonso unless he's trying to help Stroll, because he's 15 seconds behind Lance Stroll now. He can only be trying to build a gap for Stroll, right? That's the only thing he could be doing. Hmm. Well, yeah, the Nords 24 is always good value. Hmm. Well, guys, I mean, you can go from watching Monaco to watching cars literally go around in a circle. Oh, it's an oval. Yeah, whatever. I will try and catch some of the Indy. I will try and catch some of the Indy later. Hmm. Oh, so close from Sainz. Just a little brush. It is. It is. It's close. So Hamilton's dropped back from Verstappen quite a bit now. But Yuki Tsunoda is almost 20. Well, he's just over 26 seconds behind Hamilton. So, sure, the only thing they could be doing is trying to wait for a window to put softs on. Or they're just not going to bother stopping, which just seems illogical to me. When you've got a gap, it just seems illogical, but, you know, whatever. Norris can't stop, really. That's curious. You listening to this Bruno Famine comments? He says Ocon's attack was out of line. There will be consequences, and we're going to make a tough decision. No, he's not. Hmm. Lance Stroll's pitting, and he's got a pit stop window ahead of his teammates. Pit stop! Pit stop! Excitement! Oh, baby! George Russell's really closed the gap to Norris. When I say really, I mean he's 14 seconds now. It was 17. So, Stroll has just got out ahead of his teammate, and he had a 21 point something second gap. So, yeah, just over 20 seconds, you'll be fine for a pit stop. Logan Sargent still needs to stop as well. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure anyone is going to stop, you know. We've got 30 laps left. Yeah, maybe. Maybe you're right, Wilco. Maybe you should say, okay, you can change tyres at a red flag, but it won't count as your mandatory pit stop. The mandatory tyre swap has to happen during the race. Maybe that's the way they get around it, as you say. Yeah, you can change tyres, but this won't count. Maybe that should be the rule. Which I kind of like. God, that's a bad stat, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Charles Leclerc winless in his last 12 starts from pole position. Jesus Christ. He started from pole position and hasn't won the last 12 times. We know that he was on pole a lot with a quick qualifying car, but a terrible race car. That's bad, though. That's a terrible stat, isn't it? But we know this. Basically, the Red Bull was just so much quicker in the race. Um. Hmm. Oh no, Daz. It's very rainy here. Buzzy. No, we are not interested. Yuki's 40 seconds behind Hamilton. What the hell's going on? How is he so far behind? Well, solid race, but he's fucking 40 seconds behind 7th place, and I'm confident he could go much quicker if he wanted to. He's just managing pace, but I'm not sure he needed to manage pace that much. When does the racing start? One sec. Let me just double check when Canada is, Dan. I think it's on the 8th of June. Let me just double check. Canada. No, 9th of June, 7 o'clock UK time. Oh, Lance Stroll's got a puncture. I said someone would get a puncture. Oh, Stroll. Oh. I said someone would get a puncture. Oh my God, that is so fucking unlucky. That is so unlucky. That is so unlucky. Unbelievable, Jeff. Listen, you've got to feel bad for him there. He's just pitted. He's in 11th place and he gets a puncture. Oh, I said someone would get a puncture. Now, he's either hit the wall or he got a puncture from carbon fiber. Now, that tire's in the pit lane entrance. Someone could pick that up. Someone could pick that up. If he's hit the wall, which has caused a puncture, well, then it's his own bloody fault, isn't it? Yeah, Hamilton has closed the gap to Verstappen from about 4.5 seconds to 1.4. Verstappen is still 1.6 behind Russell. Just fucking stop him. Like, I don't get it. Just stop him. He's got 2 fucking pit stops. He's literally got no one behind him. Did he hit the wall, Anstral? Oh, he did. He turned in too early, so it was his own fault. So I take that back, Lance. It's not unlucky. You're just shit. I take it back, Lance. Nothing to do with debris. You're just shit. Yeah, take it back. Yeah, Alonso just backed the whole pack up for 20 seconds so Stroll could get a pit stop. And then as soon as he gets a pit stop, he hits the wall. Oh, hello. Mercedes. And Red Bull. Oh, they're going to pit Max. So Hamilton's pitting. Presumably they're pitting Max then. No, they didn't. Oh, they... Hard tyres. They're putting hard tyres on. Why didn't you pit him, like... I would have pitted him earlier, but anyway. They will still potentially. It just depends on his outlap, really, doesn't it? Max is gunning it. Max is gunning it. Ultimately here, what they should do is tell George to back him up, but that's not going to happen, obviously. They'll probably pit George, won't they? To be fair. They'll pit George, to be fair, won't they? Oh, they haven't pitted George. Yellow flag, sector 2. Hard tyres for Max. Yeah, he's ahead of Lewis. Yeah, he's still ahead of him. What would you do if you were George now? Would you pit or would you stay out? Knowing, remember a couple of years ago, Lewis was on old tyres for like 60 laps, but Max couldn't get past him, even though he was much quicker. I think if I was George, I'd stay out. An overtake! We just saw an overtake. We just saw an overtake. We saw it. We saw an overtake. Did you see it? Oh, so Lewis didn't push on the outlap. Okay. Well, George can't pit now because the gap to Verstappen is 14 seconds. He can't pit. He's out of the window of pitting now. George has to go to the end. There's no option for him. He's made his decision and he'll live by it. Yeah, because I mean, Verstappen will catch. Verstappen will catch Russell, but catching him and getting past him is two separate things. Verstappen's quicker than Lewis, though, at the minute. Verstappen did a 15.8 last time across. Hamilton did a 16.3. Max is much quicker. There's 23 laps to go, and Verstappen's only 11 seconds behind George now. Such is the pace difference. So... I think Hamilton had a lot of traffic as well. You got to get through that bundle of traffic of Sargent, Joe, Stroll, all of those lot. Apparently you need 21 seconds for a stop. 21 seconds to go. So 21 seconds stands about right. Norris almost has a gap to Russell. If I would pit Norris, to be honest. Even if he comes out behind George, he'll get past him, I think, easily. Yeah. He's less than 10 seconds behind him now, Verstappen. So when he catches him, we're really going to see what's going to happen. Will he be able to get past him? George Russell's got a push now on medium tyres that are almost 60 laps old. He's got no choice. He has to push. Here's the thing, though. If George Russell's fighting Max Verstappen, that obviously clears up a little bit of a gap to Norris then to maybe pit and put some soft tyres on or something. Fastest lap from Hamilton, a 14.4 from Hamilton. Russell did a 17 flat for comparison. Leclerc did a 17.2. So, you know, they're all... These guys that have just stopped are really quick, Hamilton and Verstappen. I wonder if they asked Russell what he wanted to do. I wonder if they said, do you want to stop out? Do you want to stay out? Do you want to pit? And I wonder if he made the choice. Hamilton's still getting through this traffic. He's got Alonso ahead of him now, in between him and... Oh, Lance Stroll in the tunnel! Wow. He actually slowed down in the tunnel there. Overtake in the tunnel, guys. Who said Monaco was shit? Me. I did. Oh, look at that traction. Look at that traction. Lance Stroll. What a guy. So Verstappen and Hamilton are now past all the back markers. So there's no one in between Verstappen and Russell now. But Hamilton lost a lot of time getting through that traffic. He's now 6 seconds behind Verstappen. And he was only 2 point something. He lost a good 4 seconds in that traffic somehow. But Verstappen is only 6 seconds behind George Russell. Verstappen only 4.4 behind George now. I mean, ultimately, even though you've got someone behind you on fresher tyres, you'd still want track position at Monaco, wouldn't you? A 14.2 from Lewis there. Max complaining about the battery. Hamilton's dropping back. I don't understand. He just did a fastest lap, half a second quicker, but he's now lost 8/10 to Verstappen. Maybe Verstappen was using a lot of battery. Move out of the way, Alpine. What are you doing? Get out of the way, Gasly. Well, now, I mean, by the end of this lap, Verstappen will be in DRS. George isn't going to let Lewis through. Jesus Christ. To be honest, Lewis is nowhere near at the minute. He's 7 seconds behind him at the minute. He had terrible traffic, but he's had a couple of clear laps and hasn't gained anything, so... I'm not sure Lewis is actually quick enough to give George any trouble at the minute. He was lightning quick, but he hasn't been the past few laps. Oh, Max is all over him. If you're George Russell, you're cursing Mercedes right now for not bringing him in instantly, aren't you? I would be. Russell's got Sonoda ahead of him as well. We know from Max a couple of years ago, like I say, against Lewis, was it 2020? Or was it way back 2019 when he was behind Lewis for like 50 something laps, 60 laps? Way quicker, but just couldn't quite get past. I want to say it was 2020. Bit of traffic coming up here, though, as well. George will get DRS from this. Will he? No, he didn't. I thought he would. I thought he would have, but he didn't. Yeah, Hamilton's closing now because obviously, as Wilco said, George is having to defend, so they're both losing time, him and Verstappen now. Hamilton just did a 14-1 as well. Hamilton's still got to get through that traffic also, though. Yeah, 8th and 9th. That's madness, though, isn't it? I don't know what's gone on with Tsunoda there. Fucking 8th and 9th. All been lapped. It's wild. What we do know is if Max gets half a sniff, he'll fucking send it. Yeah. Bearing in mind as well, as we say, George has been on these tyres now for what, 62 laps, I want to say? So, you know. Yeah, 63 laps. All it takes is one mistake, doesn't it? I mean, if a medium tyre can do the entire race, then that's not good, is it? Like, but also, likewise, if a circuit, a guy behind who is 3 seconds a lap quicker than you on a new tyre can't get past, then the circuit's shit, isn't it? Like, if someone behind is 3 seconds a lap quicker when they're not behind you, but then can't get past, then the circuit's shit. Yuki, that's what I like to hear. I mean, I'm not surprised for Yuki. He's been driving like a granny all race because he's obviously been told to. He's like, oh my god, I can finally push. It doesn't look like Max has got anything to get past George at the minute. It doesn't look like he's got anything to get past. Hmm. Verstappen's out of DRS now. I mean, Max, well, he dropped out of it briefly. He's probably just trying to charge his battery or something and go for another push. Got 10 laps left to do something. Max to send it on Russell. Russell to turn in on him. And they both crash out. Hamilton gets 5th place. Oh, Sargent's hit the wall. I mean, That's as fucking reliable as the day and night cycle. Hmm. The Metro. Yeah, it is a little bit, isn't it? I mean, it's never really looked like Piastri would get past Leclerc, Sainz would get past Piastri, or Norris would get past Sainz, has it? Like, it's never really looked like any of them could get past either of them, because we know that unless you've got a massive tyre delta, you're not going to get past. Oh, it was only a tiny little tap, Logan. Georgie boy. Max. I'm just waiting for Max to send it. What are the highlights going to be? Do you know what? I download the highlights all the time, you know, because of F1 videos, and they miss so much out of the highlights in terms of like tactical pit stops, strategy, things like that. They don't cover a lot of the top 10s, like pit stops and things like that. They miss so much out of it. But in this race, I mean, what are you going to do? Yeah, I have played it, Bunny, and I can confirm it's not great. It releases on Tuesday, but... I mean, I don't see any changes in position here. I don't see Verstappen getting past Russell, to be honest. And I don't see any changes at the front. Yeah, do you know what? I mean, Monaco's never great, but I would agree it's been the worst. It boils down to that incident at the start, doesn't it? Because everyone now, all the front runners change tires and have gone the entire race on one set of tire. That should never be allowed to happen, like ever. It's made the only interesting thing about Monaco really is strategy, isn't it? Because the overtakes aren't there, so it's strategy and pit stops, and we haven't had any of that. So it's literally just been a procession. I mean, that's terrible. It's terrible, isn't it? We've had like a couple of overtakes right at the back of the grid when there was an insane tyre delta. That's it. Like, yeah. No, I honestly don't. I think, to be honest, I'm not saying this is what Hamilton's thinking, but if Max Verstappen can't get past George Russell, Hamilton's probably thinking, well, there's no chance of me getting past Verstappen and George, is there? Like, it's just no. He's just gonna hang station. I think. What's the point? He's never gonna get past. I don't think Verstappen will get past Russell. Not based on what I've seen. He's just not quick. He's just not close enough. Yeah. What an interesting race this has been. End sarcasm. The only good thing, guys, and I don't mean this as a hate towards Max Verstappen. The only good thing is Max Verstappen isn't winning. Someone else is winning, right? And that's good for the sport. We've seen Norris win. We might see Charles Leclerc win now. We've seen Max win. That's good for the sport. So I'm happy about that. And that's a positive, isn't it? George Russell just to clip the wall on the last lap. No, he won't do that. He won't do that. Yeah, zoom in on her face. Sorry, I can't quite make out her fucking nose hairs. Like, just leave her alone. Well, it is. I mean, Monaco's, we've been saying this for years. Monaco's a terrible race circuit. It's a spectacle circuit, but it's not a good race circuit. And this race here, bloody hell's been a snooze fest, hasn't it? I mean, it has. It's been a snooze fest. Because ultimately, that red flag ruined any strategy. Because the front didn't have to stop. And so, yeah. It's not been good. And they were by Lance Stroll with a huge tyre delta, weren't they? So... Well, we're going to see another overtake, though, aren't we, Dan? When Max Verstappen goes Super Saiyan into the chicane and just glides past George Russell. Hadouken! I don't even think Max has got the pace in that Red Bull this afternoon to get past George, even with the tyre delta. It's quite apparent. You know, he's had 15 laps to do it. He just doesn't have the tyre delta to be able to get past. George has driven really well on those medium tyres, to be fair. He's done the whole race on the medium tyre. You've got to give credit where credit's due. You know, other drivers have as well, but, you know, George is there hanging in 5th place on the medium tyre the entire race. Top job from George this weekend. Top job. Nyom, nyom. Yeah. Ah, it's bloody Mbappe. Kylian's going to be waving the flag. Kylian, you've got something just here, Kylian. George isn't going to bin it now, Ginger. That's only happened like 3 times. Come on. He's not going to bin it now, 2 laps from the end, is he? He's got Max covered. All joking aside, he's had a good race. He's had a good race, George. He's had a good weekend. So, sorry, why are we zoomed in on someone's belly button? It's some weird shit, man. It's some weird fucking shit. Like, come on. Honestly, just stop it. Zooming in on the women. It's just weird. It's so unnecessary. I know that they're zooming in on the hands, but it looked like they were just zooming in on the belly, but it's just weird. It's just strange. It's just really weird. They just keep zooming in on the faces of the girlfriends and what have you. It's just odd. Really odd. Yeah, because she can see that on the screen. It's freaky, isn't it? When you're watching the TV feed and you can see yourself on it. Charles Leclerc had good pace when he needed it, though, didn't he? Because he's pulled out a 9-second gap now, and he's just cruising. He had a bit of pace when he needed it. It's not getting frantic. I know that their duty is commentators to try and try and big it up, but come on. There's nothing frantic about this Grand Prix, is there? Final lap. Come on, Charles. Don't bin it now. You could be 8 seconds a lap slower. Just take it nice and easy. Yuki Tsunoda in 8th, by the way. Solid race from him. Albon potentially getting a point in 9th as well. Top tier. Charles Leclerc! Charles Leclerc wins in Monaco! He's broken the curse! He's broken the curse! There you go. Good race, Charles. Fucking terrible race, though, wasn't it? Bloody hell. Guys, I'm not even messing with you. I've already turned it off. Guys, I've already turned it off. Terrible race. I'm sorry you had to watch it, but I'm glad you watched it with me. Next time around, it's gonna be Canada, and I love Canada. So yeah. If you do have trouble sleeping, maybe watch that tonight. It'd probably be good for you. If you want to see something completely different as well, the Indy 500's on tonight. I think it's 6:15 UK time. So might be something to consider. Maybe, if you're that way inclined. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for more memes. Thank you very much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow evening. I love you all. and have a lovely weekend. Goodbye.